For many years, I've been having an inkling, and I just don't know what the truth is. As the tears trickle down my eyes, it's hard to believe that my parents are my parents. I've never met a set of individuals who just can go months and years, possibly, definitely months and days, without speaking to their offspring. And this isn't the first time this has happened. My alleged mother has reached out to me twice. And the calls literally last like less than a minute, and I just stopped picking up the phone. I'm always the one giving the olive branch. There's always some type of me giving and never receiving. I'm just tired of this. You know, when I was younger, I remember I was interested in this guy named Jonathan, and he was interested in me. And people always thought that we would be together because that's what people in our religion did. Except we were the only two people who didn't fall for the religion. Which made us very unique. He moved far away from his family, and I kind of did too. Why did I bring him up? When I was that age, I remember going through like a love triangle or something, and I sent a very transparent email to my alleged father. And he never responded. And he didn't pick up the phone. And shortly before that, I hadn't heard from him from some time. I now know that he was going through a divorce, but I don't think it's appropriate to avoid me. I am not a back burner type of motherfucker. And you know, a couple of, I think like weeks later, I ended up not talking to Jonathan any longer because he digged himself into a hole, and the other guy, I was with him for 3 years. Shortly after, I sent an email to my dad because I counted how long he went without speaking to me. And it was 6 months. In 19 more days, it will be 6 months. Prior to that, my mother almost went a year without speaking to me. But every day she sent me a Jesus meme, and I probably saw her or heard of her going to church 5 times in my life. every day. She never said anything except for, "Can you send me money?" All because I asked her to send me my mail. What's so ironic is that people never believed me when I talked about some of these people's actions. And slowly but surely, the truth always comes to light. And every time, I swear I've been crying so much in these last fucking couple of months. Literally, like, since I went off of social media, it's almost like everything has crashed down on me. People don't check on me, and I don't feel alone, because the people who really do care about me, I speak to them. But it's just something about the two people that were supposed to be your parents letting you down that forces you to not have faith in many people. My soul knows it was never supposed to be like this. And the only thing that keeps me going is God. I think about my deceased pastor a lot, especially lately. And I'm thankful that I can hear his voice on YouTube sometimes. But he always said, your greatest setback is just a way for you to get set up to brag about God. And I know. I don't know why I just thought about Will Smith. And I know that where I'm going next, I never finished my story, and once I sent my dad an email at that 6-month mark. I'll never forget. I sent him an email giving him an ultimatum, because at that same time, I gave my mother one. I'm 23 years old. I'm living in my parents' house. I left one parent to go to another. I have not felt like anyone has stuck up for me. But when I gave those ultimatums, one parent, my alleged father, called me immediately at my work phone number and apologized to me. And then shortly after, I can't help but think now, it's just convenient timing that he asked me to help him with an apartment. Because now, after his divorce, someone still has to pay the rent of the ex-wife. So while I didn't have anything to do with the apartment, my name did. And while this may be tea and I really don't give a fuck, because I'm at the point of petty where I will fucking put entire names. I just pray that the secret things of the Lord reveal itself. And this is why I've done so much work to become what I call free as fuck. Because shortly after I asked my mom, don't you want those relationships that mothers and daughters have that are close? And she looked me right in the face and said no. I was 23. And I didn't speak to her for a year. And we lived across the hall from one another. And it wasn't until she turned 40 that my aunt forced me to give a speech at her party. And to be honest, I really wasn't in the fucking mood. Because A, I didn't like her, and B, the party ran so late that the dinner was late. And I was scheduled to get an abortion by the time we started eating. In a couple of hours. Anyone, unfortunately, who has been through that situation knows that you cannot eat after a certain time. The day before. And I literally almost came super duper close to that window. And right in that moment, I knew that I would go through with the procedure. Because I did not want my child to be born in those type of circumstances. I've never said that before. I knew that the anger that I felt within would in turn harm my child. And after my kid's father regretted the decision with me, and we didn't survive that real situation. We stayed together for a couple of months after that, but I could say, like, I believe that was one of the only people who had ever loved me. like unconditionally. I don't know how I'm capable of giving people love unconditionally when I never received it. My parents separated when I was like 5 years old. I've never seen a healthy form of love. And somehow, I'm still able to give it. You know, it breaks my heart that there are actually fucked up people in the world who will bring a child in the world after they allegedly aborted a kid before. And if you are not fucking prepared to take care of your child until that person is no longer breathing, whether I or them, because they say that you don't have to take care of your child once they turn 18 because they are technically legal. But once you're a parent, you never stop being a parent. And these people stopped being a parent. They always pawned me off to somebody else. Always. Cousins, aunts, uncles. So no, I do not know how either one of these individuals don't even talk to me. And the alleged father will say, that person don't call me when I've been fucking calling you first my whole life. Hey, there's an update on Apple that'll let you see the entire call history. I promise you. It's always me. And the only time I can recall the other lady calling me for stuff is mostly for fucking money. I barely asked these people for anything my whole life. It wasn't until they started digging in my finances that I started having issues. Sometimes someone's evil eye can harm you. I really hope those people one day would just come and rescue me. Because there's no way this is my life. People cannot imagine the things that I have gone through, but yet I still prevail. People hate on me, but they have no idea what it's like to be me. I smile because I give myself a reason to smile. There were several times when I never thought that my accomplishments were valid. You know, I always thought that my parents resented me because I ruined their life by being fucking born. Maybe you should have practiced celibacy instead of being fast as a teen. You know, my dad forfeited a career at a prestigious institution in New York and a basketball scholarship. mom allegedly played softball. And somehow both of them realized that me being conceived was a problem. Because I'll say it again, there's no way that a parent decides to stop fucking being a parent and never asks if their child ever needs anything. Or just to pick up the phone to see if I'm alive. But because I have a social media presence, that's your way of knowing that I'm okay? Are you high? I remember a reader said to me in 2018, I'm not even going to say it. But the fact is, what she said rang true. And that was the first psychic reading I had. As an awakened soul. And it was so introspective. Even speaking with fortune tellers or palm readers, they always seem to mention these people. One of them even said how sorry they are. Another one said that I need to forgive them before they die. And the funny part was, I never understood what that meant. Because I usually forgive people, I just don't fucking talk to them ever again. I am definitely notorious for that. Shout out to the fucking Libra gang. Because that is a big Libra trait. We are the scales of justice. All of these tears that I'm crying, my ancestors already know what type of time it is. We don't like that. I'm probably crying more tears from backed up years of not crying and being a fucking super thug. Shout out to Noriega. You know, in the last 2 weeks, I was feet away from about 18 rounds first time, 14 another time, back and forth in the crossfire, feet away, 2 separate occasions, and not one time did I flinch at a gunshot sound. That is not a fucking normal characteristic. So as I call on my power back to me from every corner of this alleged planet called Earth, and any other forces, and every other paradigms, and any other dimensions, and any other galaxies and universes, I call on my power back to me, because it is mine, and mine only. No one or no thing can permeate the hedge of protection that Source God Energy, the Most High, ruler of my life, no one can permeate that hedge of protection. You hear me? No one. So while I'm putting my business out on Front Street, I promise you don't try it. I am a wounded warrior. There are so many holes, not only in my heart, but in other parts of my body, that I have had to feel on my own. And whoever my husband is, Oh, he has a hell of a job. Because there's a lot of holes that I cannot fill on my own. But please know, if this is the fate that you want, by not having a say-so in my life, by not fucking checking on me without you needing something from me, don't fucking bother coming around. Don't call my phone. Don't text my phone. I will have to deal with the Most High. And please, I want to see the contract. I want to know what my thought pattern was when I agreed to come to this planet with these fucking people. This whole place is fucking crazy. And to me, the only way it'll change is if I leave it. I don't know where is a safe place to go. No, I'm not suicidal either. And if you are, please seek help urgently. Whatever evils you are battling, it's not worth your life. Because God chose you to be here for a reason. You hear my shit show of a life, and that's just 26 minutes worth. This can go on. But again, every time that name pops up on my fucking cell phone screen, I immediately cannot handle it. And then I come on here crying. I call on my power back to me. And for anyone attempting to harm me in any capacity, on any plane, any dimension, any galaxy, any universe, any black fucking magic, white, red magic, whatever magic, return to sender fucking 10 times. Return to sender 10 times. And one more time, I call on my power back to me from any plane, dimension, universe, all four corners of the earth, and any galaxies and universes that may attempt to harm me. I send it back to you 10 times. Return to sender. I just want to thank the people who have called my phone. Text me, even when I don't feel like fucking talking, because y'all are becoming annoying now. I don't have anything to say, and I don't have the energy to exchange, to say anything. Just please leave me alone. And when I'm ready to come outside, oh, you better be motherfucking ready. Oh, you better be fucking ready. Because I'm going to show you what I want. Unapologetically. Without remorse. Without the support I thought I had. On my journey towards free as fuck.